Hey everyone, it's Ashley, and I am standing outside of Angelus Temple in LA for the Gen Z for Jesus prayer and worship gathering. Thousands of people are here to encounter God on a deeper level. And this isn't your average Christian gathering. This is a movement that's inviting an entire generation to encounter the presence of Jesus. One word, how are you feeling about Gen Z for Jesus?
Excited.
I think it's going to be powerful. I'm excited to see lives changed and our generation set apart for the Lord.
Glory.
I believe it's going to be something radical.
Aaron, I wanted to start with you. God really put something in your heart, like he downloaded something specific that kind of grew into what Gen Z for Jesus is today. Just talk a little bit about that.
I had this moment in prayer with God where I realized I was missing his heart for Gen Z. I was praying and declaring Gen Z's broken, and God on his throne was thundering, Gen Z is mine. Gen Z is for my son. I don't want to sit here trying to rally a bunch of energy around how broken Gen Z is. I actually want to believe in faith for what's in God's heart, that Gen Z's not dead. I reached out to Brian and I was like, dude, what if we called youth to pray and released a declaration that Gen Z is for Jesus?
So he goes, I feel like we need to do an online event. We'll preach, we'll pray, and we'll read the word. That's it. And then he goes, and I think we should call it Gen Z for Jesus. And I literally thought to myself, that is the corniest name I've ever heard. That day, there would be over 20,000 students that would stream in to that one feed. And then it became a tour. And then the tour culminated into gatherings. And we opened up the doors September 3rd of last year, and over 5,000 kids filled an arena for 12 hours. And we knew, oh man, this is a moment. Yeah. And so here we find ourselves in Los Angeles, and tomorrow we're believing for the same thing.
What are you expecting to come out of this event and this gathering, specifically for Gen Z?
Well, I think Gen Z, we long to have an impact bigger than our very own lives. We see all the headlines and the darkness and the news, and we should be aware of that. We should call it out, absolutely. But we're supposed to be the solution. The letter Z in the Hebrew language actually means weapon or to be armed or even a sword. What if, it's a dangerous question to ask, but what if Gen Z is the weapon in the hand of God to fight the enemy in darkness in our world today so that we may see the greatest revival known to man in America?
I believe that Gen Z is a revival generation. There's a lot of language out there about the crisis, whether it's sexual identity, whether it's suicide, whether it's, fill in the blank. But honestly, God is moving in Gen Z. Let's go before the Lord like we never have before, because we are an inch away from a historic move of God. I really, really believe that. And I think what's happening here this weekend is evidence.
We lay down all of our idols, we lay down all of anything that might have taken over the throne of our heart, and we want to seek you fully. And that's truly what I've seen in this event so far. It's just been people laying down themselves at the altar as a living sacrifice.
We're going to go into the workforce, and we need leaders that are bold and proclaim Jesus in everything they do.
These people are being marked as sons and daughters, and I think this is so cool.
I started to begin to weep because of all the people so hungry for Jesus.
Seeing so many Hispanics and Americans gathered saying no, there's still a generation who's still hungry. There's still a generation who still wants God.
The Lord is saying that we're his. And I've seen him claim my friends. I've seen people that were in the darkest of darkest things, and within a day or within a week, it's a whole new person.
We're seeing millennials and Gen Zers in droves give their lives to Jesus.
My dream for my generation is that they simply meet the man Jesus.
What are you hoping people walk away with at this event?
I'm believing to really see lifelong lovers of Jesus be produced out of these meetings and gatherings.
My own Gen Z children are here, and that's what I want them to come home with, is I remember when I encountered God there, and his fire in my heart is ablaze.
That they either get saved tomorrow and say, oh, we got saved at the Angelus Temple, September 9th, or I was already saved and I received my call of God at Angelus Temple.
I'm looking for a Gen Z awakening and a revival that's stronger than the rebellion. It seems impossible, but God.
Ashley, I'm so glad you were there with your team. That is so encouraging
Yeah,
to see.
honestly, it was such an honor and a privilege to be able to go there and really witness what God is doing, not just through this event, Gen Z for Jesus, which is more than just event. It's really a prayer and worship movement, but really what God is doing through the younger generation. I mean, I interviewed people who were like 13, 14, 15, 16, all the way up to like 21, 22. And I truly was so blown away by their hearts and their answers of just, I mean, they really love Jesus. And it just honestly was encouraging to me. It honestly made me want to go deeper in my faith with the Lord. And it's just, you know, because there's so many stats out there that are negative about the younger generation. But I'm here to tell you that there is hope for the younger generations. And I also believe what Ross Johnston said. He said, like, the letter Z in Hebrew actually means weapon or sword. And then he said, you know, what if Generation Z is actually the weapon in God's hand to bring about the next harvest?
Yeah, how encouraging, because a lot of the older folks think, oh, the younger generations, they don't have a passion for Jesus. I mean, first of all, imagine growing up in this world. It's very difficult. But boy, their love for Christ just shines through.
It really does.
Very encouraging.
Absolutely. Well, I did want to share with you guys some amazing just stats, just the fruit of what you just saw in that piece. So Gen Z for Jesus had over 7,000 people registered, 62,000 current streams, so people watching online as well, an estimated 115 baptisms that night, and hundreds of salvations. And I did also want to share some amazing testimonies. A woman named Cynthia, she was 19 years old. She watched online. She said, I was born half deaf in my right ear, and it was slowly getting worse while watching the stream. So she's not even there in person. She was watching the stream. She says, a friend laid hands on me and started to pray, and I was healed. Here's another testimony. A young girl struggled with depression and self-harm. She came to the event and was set free from that, and also the scars on her arms were healed. Like, she's walking away scarless. Someone else went into the prayer room with a strong backache that they had struggled with for a while. A guy was praying over backaches, and the student began to worship and believe it, and he was healed. Also, someone else was asked to go to the event, and they said yes. At that event, the Lord met them. They were baptized and saved in that night.
Awesome.
It's just absolutely incredible.
Reminds me, even locally, one of my teenage sons just was part of a very local 2-day event where they were saying revival was there. I heard one of the teenagers describe it as miraculous, where the event was over, but the teenagers, boys and girls, just stayed for hours just worshiping.
Wow. It's
weeping, crying. I mean, these are today's teens. It was awesome.
Absolutely. And I've heard similar stories like that all over college campuses as well. So again, there is hope for the younger generation. There really is. Well, I just want to let everyone know, make sure you guys join us for a week of stories and interviews that showcase what God is doing with Generation Z. From October 23rd to the 26th, we will have interviews with rapper Zonti, Beckett Cook, Madison Pruitt-Trout, David Hernandez, and several others. We discuss everything from entertainment to sexuality. And if you are a part of Gen Z or know a Gen Zer, you definitely don't want to miss it. Make sure you tune into Freeform at 10 a.m. from, again, October 23rd to the 26th. That's a Monday through a Thursday. Or you can also watch by downloading the CBN Family app. Really want to encourage everyone to watch it. We've got some amazing stuff coming up.
Good stuff. Thanks for all you're doing to report on it.
Hey everyone, I'm Ashley Key. Thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so we can reach more people with encouraging content like you just watched, and so you never miss a beat. See you next time, and God bless.